Okay, now it would not be a cool smartphone video if we weren't sat here in the car. This is a rather rugged handset from Doro. It's the 8020X or 8020X or 8020X. There it is anyway on the back. It's IP67 as you can see here, so it's dustproof, waterproof, shockproof. You can drop it in to a meter of water for 30 minutes if you wish. Now Doro are definitely quite famous and doing very well in the elderly phone market. They do a lot of phones for the elderly and for the that sort of market. They're doing very well. This is for lone worker safety. It also connects to a strap. You can buy it separately, and it's basically to keep an eye on lone workers. As you can see here, it's got a SIM card and SD card slot on the side, a good big fat power button that you can press to turn it on. You can sort of press that with your gloves on. Got another button down here to fire up the assistance button, sorry, not the camera. I get so used to buttons on the side firing up the camera, but the assistance button, you can see here what that does. You can use the assistance button located on the back of the phone, which it's not actually, it's on the side. In case of emergency, you just have to press this button. It will send an alert. You can configure it so you can send it to a certain amount of contacts. It will send a text message, and you can see whether you want to press it 3 times or maybe just long press, which is the normal setting. We can go back here. The signal type, whether you want a piercing sound or whether you want no sound or low sound, so you can set that. And then here, this is where you put your contacts in. That screen, by the way, I should mention that before I go any further, is an 854 by 480 4.5 inch screen. It's a quad-core 1 gigahertz processor, I believe. I'm just winging it because I don't know the exact specs. Yeah, 4 times 1 gigahertz. It's got 4G connectivity, and it's got a 3.5mm audio port, which you probably saw on the top there, with its micro USB connector too. These are all open ports, no flaps on them, so it's still waterproof. It's got a 5 megapixel camera around the back with a flash. I'll just show you that in action. You can see I've got some updates available already. So there's me. Why would I want the camera to make phone calls? Alright, so there you go, and take photos like that. It's got a 3000 milliamp hour battery. It's that assistance button. It's got GPS, Wi-Fi, the usual sort of thing, and it's also got it's compatible with the Doro Alarm application, which basically allows for remote provisioning of the device, so that the end user, i.e. me, doesn't have to worry about that so much. And it keeps an eye on the battery and the network connectivity, and it just basically checks on the well-being of the person that's using it. So there's less for the end user to worry about. It's got a safety timer on here, so it tells you how long a job should take or how long you should be doing one certain thing. You've got tracker alerts and are you okay alert. It's got 8 gig of internal storage and a micro SD card, which you've seen on the side there. So you can add in more. This is ideal for sort of heavy industries, as I said, lone workers. It's to keep an eye on those people, make sure they're okay, the well-being's okay. It's a very rugged device, but at the same time, it's a smartphone that does all the usual smartphone stuff. You can see here it's got Play Store on there, YouTube, Gmail. You can keep in touch with the office. You've got a backup and restore option. You've got the Doro keyboard, which is slightly different, but it's slightly easier to use than the normal keyboard. If I go into the Play Store here and I just do a search, you'll see the keyboard in action. It's a slightly darker keyboard and perhaps easier to use on this 4.5 inch screen. So that's the Doro 8050. Volume up and down on here. It's got a nice lanyard strap on the lower left there, so you can tie it to your pocket or your jeans or your wrist. There's the assistance button on the side. We've got the actual real keys alongside the on-screen keys here. So we've got one button to make a call, which is great. One button to drop a call, which is great. And then we've got the center button here, which looks to have locked the screen. So it's, yeah, and that activates the OK Google system too. So it's a very easy to use. You can use it with your gloves on to some extent as well. You've got an external speaker there. You can just see flashing in the light, reflecting. It's a very rugged, but also at the same time quite a nice looking handset. So that's our overview of this, the Doro 8020